Hey guys, Cameron here from Palmetto State Armory, and we're back with another episode of Coffee Talk. And today I got two special people for you guys from our good friends over at Born United, Cameron and Jared. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So, Cameron, so you're the founder, owner of Born United. What inspired you to get into Born United, into clothing and gear and accessories?
Yeah, of course. So roughly 3 years ago, I had my family up in New York State, born and raised in New York State. And we moved away because New York was not where we wanted to raise our family. We ended up in South Carolina, Somerville area. And there was a time I was walking around the Tanger outlets in Charleston. And I'm a former digital marketing agency owner. And we were acquired in 2019. I had developed multiple e-commerce clothing brands, purchased a warehouse down in Goose Creek area, and I was rolling on just e-commerce. And one day I was walking around with my wife in Tanger Outlets, and I out of nowhere had a vision of opening up a retail chain with my brands in it.
Yeah.
And I just so happened to be close with some partners like Nine Line, Grunt Style, some of those bigger brands out there. And I decided, hey, let's take a shot at opening a retail store. And, I started making phone calls to some of these bigger brands and pitching them the vision and the idea. And, some of them came out and saw the store that we were looking to launch in, and it was pink at the time. And, I got to give props to Grunt Style. They were the first one at that time that was like, hey, we'll do it. We'll do it with you. And so we decided, hey, Born United would be the name. We loved the name. The brand name is just, really what we stand for. We want to make sure that we're uniting this country, and what it was founded upon is freedom. So to back up just a little bit, I moved away from New York to find freedom in South Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely.
I end up buying a warehouse, and we open up Born United in 2022.
That's awesome.
We started developing relationships with some different brands and whatnot. And lo and behold, in May of 2022, we were open in Charleston.
That's awesome. So you did digital marketing, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
So how did you get into like the designing of the clothes and stuff? Were you doing that as well? Or was that just like kind of like a side thing that you knew what you were doing?
Yeah, a lot of the designs throughout the years came from my brain, research, ideas I've seen. And of course, our team as well comes up with ideas as well. But, a lot of the designs just are one-off. Hey, that would look really cool on a t-shirt. Let's put a Born United spin on it, or one of the other brands, Relentless Betrayal, Mucker Bucket. We just develop some cool t-shirts and a cool design, and all of a sudden it's on the shelves and flying.
Yeah. So when you moved down from New York, you bought a warehouse right away. Did you like envision getting right into this, or did you like try and figure out like, hey, this is kind of the path I wanted to go down?
No, I had no intention of having a retail store. It kind of came out of the blue. And again, I was walking around and I saw it. I saw a store in the Tanger outlets, and then within 2 days, the name Born United came to mind. We got the brand together and decided to launch the one store, and it's quickly turned into 8 stores, soon to be 9.
Yeah, that's wild to hear.
Yeah.
So Jared, how did you guys meet? Like, how did you guys even come about together?
Yeah, so it's been kind of a wild ride for the two of us. So I've been in retail, same company for 26 years. One of the brands that we carried in that retailer is also carried in Born United, and that's Howitzer Clothing. And so Cam had touched base with Eric. I think asked Eric if he was interested in, partnering in the retail side of things. And, fortunately for me, Eric he passed my name along to Cam.
That's awesome.
And so the wild ride is that we had tried to connect for probably a couple months, and phone calls were just missing. FaceTimes were missing. And then at the last minute, my family decided to take a trip to Myrtle Beach for fall break. And just so happened that that's when we finally linked up on the phone.
That's awesome.
And he kept saying Charleston, Charleston, Charleston. And I was like, wait a minute. Are you saying Charleston, like Charleston, South Carolina? And he's like, yeah. I was like, dude, we're in Myrtle. I'll just drive down and meet you.
That's awesome.
And so the relationship happened pretty quick and pretty strong. I did consulting for, probably 9 months.
Yeah.
And then we really started talking about opening more locations.
Yeah.
We had a space picked out in Indiana at the time. And then Cam called me and he's like, yo, you got to look at this space in Somerville. And my wife and I had been looking for a change. And I walked in the living room and I said, hey, do you want to just move to South Carolina?
Let's
my
go.
wife said, yep. And I called Cam back and I'm like, hey, bro, we're just going to move there and we're going to lock arms and we're going to march this thing forward. And so, we, from the time that we made the decision to make the move to the time that we moved was about 6 weeks. We turned and burned pretty quick. And I just had my 1 year, like our 1 year anniversary coming to Born United was, probably just a couple weeks ago. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, dude. But it's been strong, man. It's been great.
Yeah. So where are you originally from then?
I'm from Indiana.
Okay. I got you.
Yep. So born and raised in Indiana, was in the Greenwood area, just south of Indianapolis, raised both my boys in that area. And then, just threw it all up in the air and said, let's roll the dice. And so here we are.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So how many kids do you have now?
So I have two. My oldest son is 24.
Yep.
He's a strength coach at Wake Forest.
Nice.
So doing his thing.
Yep.
My 18-year-old stayed in Indiana to finish high school, which respect to him because he's actually in the middle of the application process for the Air Force Academy. So
good for him.
Fingers crossed that everything gets worked out and he gets
awesome.
he gets a chance to go out to.
Pretty proud of them.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah. And Cameron, how many kids do you have now?
I have three. My oldest is Braxton.
Yeah.
He's a ball player. He's 10 years old. And then I have my daughter Briar. She's 8 years old. And she's going to be the one that takes over all these business ventures someday. And then I have Bishop, who's a wild man. He's 5 years old. A lot of fun, but a lot of work.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, so you came from New York, but your love for the Yankees is still there.
Oh yeah.
How did that win last night make you feel?
Oh, it was the best, man.
Yeah.
I most people here know this in this room, but my grandfather passed away just around 3 months ago, and he was a huge Yankees fan. And so not being able to text him hurt a little bit because that would be my moment to text him. But it was special to get a win, and hopefully we can get a couple more here soon.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see if Garrett Cole pulls through for you guys
Hopefully.
tonight.
We need three more.
Yeah, three more, right?
In a row.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Dodgers won 3 in a row, so why can't you guys,
That's
right?
right, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So a big focus for Born United is being proud to be an American, right? And that's the name, Born United, right?
Yep.
So tell me what you guys do to honor being proud Americans on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, first, our slogan for the brand is for freedom and those who defend it.
Yep.
We're big advocates of the Second Amendment. We don't like that anyone's trying to infringe on our freedoms at all. We on a regular basis, when people are walking into our stores, we're constantly asking them their story because we have one as we're learning today, and you have one as well. But we're constantly asking them, why are you here? What made you walk into our store? And many times it's one of the designs that talks about American heroes. We've got an American heroes design, which is it supports all the military, the veteran community, and then also first responders. Anytime we see a veteran, someone who's active duty or first responder, we are the first to go up and thank them for their service, thank them for what they're doing for us. They're vastly unappreciated. So a lot of our designs as well show the support that we have, not only for the country, but for the military, for the first responder community. And then we partner with a couple of brands. One of them in particular is Howitzer, who give back quite a bit of money
for sure
to some different organizations for the veteran community and first responders as well. So it's big for us to be able to buy as much merchandise from them as possible, because we know that every single sale from somebody goes directly to, a portion of it goes directly to one of these great causes. And then also the majority of the brands that we partner with are veteran founded and owned brands as well. So we just love to support anybody who's served our country.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jared, talk to me about some of the shirts that honor those people. So, because I know you just mentioned the American Hero one that everybody, but correct me if I'm wrong, you guys do it for like all the branches, right? Like pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah, so a lot of our shirts are just all inclusive. I
Yeah.
hate to have to use the
Well,
the
that's
I
hard.
word, but
Yeah,
in this
yeah.
situation, I think it's totally fair. We are going to start venturing into some branch specific shirts. We have our Remember Everyone Deployed shirt,
Yep.
so the Friday Red Friday
Yep.
shirt that does really well. And then we've got, I mean, the one I've got on today is a newer design. It's the full send shirt, but we're constantly evolving and we're
Yep.
constantly, keeping the military and first responders in mind as we're launching things. The other thing that I would like to mention as far as like the way we show our patriotism is every single one of our shops, we put the largest American flag that we can find in the retail space. So I think the one in Edinburgh is 8 foot by 12 foot that we just put up on the wall. And Daytona was a little bit of a challenge, but we found the biggest one that we could fit in there. And so, when people walk in and they see that, they either identify with it right away and they're like, man, I feel at home.
Yep.
Or they go, this isn't for me. And that's okay. But a majority of the people coming through the door can really resonate with seeing the red, white, and blue. So
For sure.
But yeah, man, we're constantly evolving. And then with the other brands that we carry, they definitely speak to the veteran and military community.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, absolutely. So what other brands, so you guys mentioned Howitzer. So Jared, what other brands of clothing do you guys carry in your retail stores that you guys like to partner with?
Yeah. So Grunt Style, again, Cam mentioned that. That was the first one that said yes. 9 Line is another strong one. Black Rifle Coffee.
Yep.
The opportunity to partner with you guys is incredible. We carry Savage Tactician, and then we moonlight with a couple other brands from time to time, Retro Rifle. And then, is there anybody I'm missing?
Zero Foxtrot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's really it other than our in-house brand.
Yeah. And so the one that's coming on the strongest is our private label Born United. So we're able to turn that pretty quick from concept to print to in shop. I know Cam mentioned earlier, we've got a ton of ideas from our team. Everybody on the staff has access to an Excel document. And so it's constantly growing. And then we go in and we hand pick and then we send it off to our designer who's incredible. And then he kicks it back. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, so that's a really cool thing because the first time we started talking, you guys told us about like your like Google Doc almost where everyone can add ideas, right? It's not just a dictatorship where the idea needs to come from this person. We actually implemented it for us too. So we have like a Google Doc that we share around. So if somebody has an idea, whether it's a firearm, apparel, an accessory, whatever, they just add to it, right? And then we filter through it and then we, meet about it, react to it. What are we going to do and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see. So what brands are specifically yours, right? So I know you got Born United. Now is Born United kind of like the parent? Because I know you have like 4 other brands, right? So what are the other brands you guys carry?
So Born United has its own private label chain, which I know Jared explained, and it's blowing up. It's just the support that we've had from the communities, all the different communities, is just incredible. But yes, besides Born United, there's Relentless Betrayal. I like to call Relentless Betrayal the OG. That's what got me into the apparel space.
Yeah.
And it's developed from just like a tattoo-inspired clothing brand to a true streetwear / really the veteran community supports it like crazy because they know where we stand politically, I guess you could say politically, but then also
morally, ethically,
from a freedom standpoint, we're big. Relentless Betrayal is a huge supporter of Born United. And so it turned from just a tattoo-inspired clothing brand idea to a multi-million-dollar e-commerce brand that's now crushing it in every single Born United. And recently, Jared, and then we have a third partner, Bob, as well, have partnered and brought some things to the table to really help boost Relentless Betrayal into what it could be. But so there's Relentless Betrayal. It's very nautical, piratey, but a really fun brand.
Yeah, and I just want to add to it is like the coolest thing about RB for me and is that it speaks to everybody in life. So we've got the sink or swim mindset is like that. Those are your 2 choices, right? Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor is overcoming adversity. Burn the ship's mentality is no regrets. Let's just keep charging this thing forward. So once people get a chance to understand what it is, and it's not just a pirate shirt and the meanings behind it, it really speaks to.
Yeah, you're not just trying to speak to the Pirates of the Caribbean crowd, right? There's like a meaning behind some of the shit, right?
Exactly. So once we're able to slow people down, they go, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
If it's not for them, they know somebody it is for.
Yep.
And so it's probably as far as gifts go,
Yeah.
RB absolutely crushes.
I
which
was
is
at
great.
I was at a local pizza shop up by me in Columbia, South Carolina, and I saw 2 different people
Yeah.
wearing a Relentless Betrayal shirt, and they weren't with each other. They were 2 different people.
Yeah.
They were 2 different people, and I was like, I get it, right?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. So,
Awesome.
so you have Relentless Betrayal. What's the other one?
Yep. And then we have Tango Charlie Apparel. Tango Charlie's big into the CrossFit fitness community. Our staple there is Lift Heavy Pet Dogs. It just absolutely crushes. And then we have Darkness as a hell of a coach, another very popular design as well. And then the third one that's a private label, and then I'm the founder of, is Mucker Bucket.
Yeah.
It's a southern lifestyle brand.
That's what I was going to say. It's more southern. It's more southern, kind of coastally, like, you know, it's what you're going to see if you're on the coast of South Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A lot of duck hunters. Duck It is one of our biggest sellers. There's Aim Small, Miss Small. That's a big seller. Country Boys, man. Like, we all wear it. We all love it. But it's brought a different demographic into our stores, which has been really exciting to see. And that brand is absolutely blowing up as well. So that's another good one.
Yeah, and most recently when we opened in Indiana, the timing FFA was in Indianapolis, so the Future Farmers of America. So 70,000 youth were in Indianapolis, and they started coming into the Edinburgh location, and they were like, oh man, Mucker Bucket, I got to buy them. We were selling hats to all of them like crazy,
that's
which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and then we have one more brand that we're releasing hopefully by the end of the year, and that's the 13th, and that'll be all scripture based.
Oh, nice.
So it'll appeal to another demographic that shops us quite a bit. We're super stoked about getting that one up off the ground, so it'll be pretty sharp.
Yes, because I mean, because it's all kind of feeds back to the Born United, right?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's what it's about, right?
Yep.
So how many retail stores do you have now?
Right now we're at a total of 8. So we count our bus as one of those retail chains because it goes all over the country.
For sure.
We're at 8 stores right now.
Yeah. So where are they all located?
We're located at the flagship is Charleston, South Carolina.
Yep.
We're in Somerville, South Carolina, Norfolk, Virginia, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We are in Daytona Beach, Florida.
Yep.
And then Lynchburg, Virginia, if I didn't list that one.
Yep.
And what am I missing?
Edinburgh just
Edinburgh.
opened, and then
Yep.
by the time this probably gets released, we will have opened in Sevierville, Tennessee, so right outside of Pigeon Forge. It's a no-brainer.
I mean, that's a good spot to
gonna
be.
it's gonna
I
be
mean, it's
wild.
Myrtle Beach of the North, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it's the mountains of Myrtle Beach, right?
Absolutely.
So how many retail stores, like how big do you guys think this is going? You just going to keep going, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, we're after this opening in next week, actually, after the opening November 8th in Sevierville, we're going to be taking a little pause. We have an astronomical amount of mall groups and different real estate committees reaching out to us on a daily basis right now, presenting us with opportunities to launch in their chains, in their malls, in their shopping centers. It's a lot, and it's exciting, and it's frankly it's something that I never thought would happen. It's very exciting. We're going to pause, get through the holiday season, and look at the starting back in March, opening up. We're going to shoot for 10 to 15 stores next year.
Nice.
And then we're going to shoot for 25 to 30 in 2027.
So you're just going to go, right?
we're going to mash the gas.
Sorry, 2026.
2026,
All gas, no brakes, baby.
Yeah, man.
right?
Pretty much,
I mean,
right.
full send, right?
Got that shirt coming out.
Yeah. That's my favorite saying, dude. That's what they call me.
Yeah, right on.
So where's the stores you're talking about for next year? Do you already have some of them kind of planned out where you're going, or?
Yeah, we're still in the early process of cementing exactly where they're going to be, but some areas we definitely want to make sure that we launch in we're looking at Hilton Head, South Carolina. We're looking at Savannah, Georgia. We're looking in the North Carolina areas, Charlotte, and then also heavy into Florida still. And then we definitely want to launch in Texas.
Absolutely.
We want to take over Texas in a 3 to 6 month period where we open 6 stores at one time.
Oh, nice.
And then the Midwest, I know we'll crush it out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, just bucket lists. I want to open in New York because that's where I'm from. And then we want to hit California bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of freedom. I mean, like we talk about it all the time, like on the firearm side, like if they would just open it up like that, I think their GDP is like the size of France or something like that, right? Which is crazy to think about, right? There's a lot of freedom loving people that live in California that just can't move because that's where their roots are or whatever, their jobs or whatever. I think you'd have a lot of support out there,
Absolutely.
particularly in California. So what goes into opening up these stores? I mean, you guys are talking about 10 to 15 stores a year. Like that's a lot to do. Like what goes into that?
A lot. No. So, when we think about a space or a mall comes to us and says, hey, we've got a spot for you, we really want to make sure that it lands in our sweet spot, which is, does it land in the right spot financially? Does it land in the right spot size wise? Does it land in the right spot area as far as like demo and stuff like that? So, first we look at that and then, really we just start planning from there. So we have a really strong group that works together. And it's wild because we talk about it all the time. There's like 10 of us doing the work of like 60. And so there are things that I'm doing that are so outside of my realm that I'm just like, man, I hope I did that right.
For sure.
But it's favored us. And so then once we get floor plans, I start kind of sketching it out. It's so funny because the malls require a drawing, and so like legit it looks like I'm sending them crayon drawings
on a napkin at the Waffle House.
Legit, I mean it's almost what it comes off as, and I'm like, hey, I hope this will suffice, and it's gone well so far, and what's wild is everything is worked out to plan. God is definitely on our side when it comes to these shops that we're opening. And I mean, even the last one, it was so wild because from ordering fixtures to ordering shelving, to ordering brackets, to ordering all of these things that you don't think about when you just walk into a retailer of how it happened. And then, making sure the product's folded, organized. It's easy to navigate, not only just for the customer, but also for the employee. And then we turn and burn pretty quick. So we will take a shop about 4 days before a grand opening and turn it.
4 days.
Yep. Yeah. So our last one.
Sorry to interrupt.
No,
every
you're good.
mall manager comes in and they say, you're going to open on Friday and it's Monday. And we say, absolutely, we are. Then they come in on Friday and they cannot believe what they're seeing.
Yeah.
4 days.
4 days, man.
And how many people do you have to get that store ready in 4 days?
Like 8.
Maybe
wild.
8.
Maybe
Sometimes
8.
we've had 4, but nowadays, 8 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many employees are work for Born United now?
Over
Not enough.
50.
We're hiring.
Over 50, like between all the stores.
Yeah.
So we have GMs and assistant managers in every store, but we have a Born United holdings corporate team, I guess we could call it. And there's a solid 10 of us now. But they all drop whatever's needed. They all have specific roles, but they drop in a hat. And from Brandon driving U-Hauls to Ashley making sure that there's rugs in the store. They've really stepped up, and without the team that we have, we couldn't pull any of what we've done.
And that kind of speaks to what you guys do for 4 days, right? You have to have a strong team to do that, and everyone has their own thing, their own mission that they're working on, right? So that's 4 days is crazy to think about, right?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it becomes a family affair. I mean, there are moments where we have husbands and wives pinch hitting, and then there are times my 18-year-old's been there, and I'm like, hey, I need you to sweep. I need you to do this. He's like, no problem. So everybody knows it's an all hands on deck in order for us to maximize our opportunity to again turn the space. And to Cam's point again, every single time somebody's like, there's no way. And then we go, yeah, there is a way, and we figure it out.
Yeah, your parents have been there.
Yeah, my
for
mom and
openings.
dad.
My
That's awesome.
parents have been there.
That's awesome.
Setting up tables, whatever. I mean, my sister's helped, my brother-in-law's helped. Like the amount of people that have come out and helped us with different openings. It's hard to say how many people. I do want to touch on something Jared said quick. The God thing. I am a very strong believer. It's why I'm where I am today. The burn the ships and the sink or swim mentality. I tell myself those things from the Relentless Betrayal Designs every single day. Everything that we've done, this partnership has literally been burn all the ships and let's move to the top. And there's one particular thing that I can touch on that goes before this relationship, even with Palmetto State Armory. It is the Somerville location. I had a real estate agent that was sending me locations all the time, weekly sending me locations. No, I'm not interested. No, I'm not interested. And randomly, he sent me a location in Somerville. And remember, I'm new to Somerville. So he sends me the address, East 5th North Street, whatever it is in Somerville. Made no sense to me. And for some reason, I looked at my wife and I said, I think we should go check this location out. The real estate agent said this could be a really good spot. we don't have the money right now to open another location, but I'm going to go check it out. And I pulled up and I said, oh my goodness, it's in the Palmetto State Armory Plaza.
Yeah.
And then I found out Palmetto State Armory owned the plaza.
Yep.
And so immediately I look, okay, next to it's the Armed Forces Career Center.
Yep.
And I'm just like, God, what are you doing right
Yeah,
now? You're
yeah,
forcing me to open this.
Yeah.
So I FaceTimed Jared immediately because he was already considering maybe I'll come there in a year or two once, excuse me, my oldest son graduates.
Yep.
And I FaceTimed him and I could just see the look on his face like, I think I'm going to have to move.
Yeah,
He said, let me talk to Kim. I think I'm going to have to move. And so, I mean, within 1 week, we signed the lease.
Yep.
And if anyone's seen our videos from the grand opening that day, I mean, it still will make me choke up thinking of the amount of people that came out and supported us that day because no one understood how much we needed that in that moment in time. We were 2 stores in, figuring out what our long-term plan was. And we had lines for 6 hours that were taking 2 hours to get into the store. And when I tell you this, not a single person stepped out of line that entire day.
That's awesome.
Like they did not step out and we had support from all the Palmetto State Armory employees were over there getting in line. Some of them had to leave the line, but somebody saved their spot.
That's
so they were almost taking breaks to stay in line just to see the store.
Taking their lunch break to switch back and forth.
Yeah. And it just continues to happen. Lynchburg, Virginia. I'm a proud graduate of Liberty University, and we were looking at a place in Clearwater Beach, and out of the blue, the leasing vice president's on the call, and she decided to say, hey, listen, I have an opportunity in a mall. It's near the largest Christian university in the planet. Or no, it's near a Christian university is what she said. And it's in a small town. I don't know if you'd be interested in. Right away, all of a sudden light bulbs start going in my head like, she better not be talking about Liberty. Like there's no way it's Lynchburg, Virginia. And lo and behold, the proposal comes aside and I said, you looked me up on Google.
Yeah.
You looked me up. You saw that I'm a Liberty graduate. And she said, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
And so within 30 days from that phone call, we were open in Lynchburg, Virginia.
That's awesome, dude.
And
That's
the
so
support
cool.
again in Lynchburg was just so out of the blue. Like people that I hadn't seen for 10 years, but left a staple with them from living there for 10 years. So we just follow God's plans and where His path is leading us.
It all
and
works
it's gotten
out.
us where we are now.
It all works out.
That's right.
So you have 8 retail locations, right? One of those is your bus that you go around on, right? And so where do you guys take that? Do you guys just go to local shows, or like where are you going with the bus?
Yeah, so we have a partnership with U.S. Patriot Tactical.
Yep.
We're showing up on quite a few of their military bases. Very, very proud and thankful for that partnership.
Yep.
We show up, not on their military bases. They're located on military bases, and we bring our bus there and we give a ton of handouts, and we're just there supporting the relationship. So we're taking it on tour with them a lot next year to all of their locations. Awesome. We do quite a few local events. One of our partners is Tom Fernandez. Some people know who he is, some people don't. He's an awesome partner. We're rooting for him here coming up in the elections, but we've taken it to his events, and then we're also going to be looking at Daytona 500. We're looking to take it to Ohio Range Day.
That's awesome.
And then some massive country music concerts coming up in Virginia, and then we want to go all across the country. It's just a matter of finding the events.
Yeah, well, that, and also you're opening up 10 to 15
That's
stores
right.
a year. I mean, when are you going to have time to go do that, right? You're going to have to hire a bus personnel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have people permanently on that bus. You can't leave. No breaks. No breaks for you.
Yep.
So let's talk about I know we briefly touched base on the store openings, but what does the next 5 years look like for you guys? Like, where do you see this going on top of the retail store side?
Yeah. 5 years. We hope to have 100 stores in 5 years.
Awesome.
100 stores, and we're looking to really help the movement in this country and bring it back to its roots. I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people don't take the chances that we're taking. We're putting everything at risk to make it so that Born United is what we want it to be and what we believe it should be. So 5 years, 100 stores. We're looking to a big thing that I haven't touched on is the fact that we are providing a place for the veteran community to really be proud of where they work. not only are they treated poorly in some ways, and in other ways, great. The support in this country, people love the veteran community.
100%.
But we have provided an outlet and an understanding for these veterans and what they've been through, where the majority of our management staff, and we have a lot of managers, are veterans. We search high and low to find veterans who understand what we're looking to accomplish, because there's nothing better than somebody walking into a store, somebody with all these stories and how they've served the community and whatnot. And so, that's one part that I definitely wanted to touch on. But 5 years, we're hoping to have 100 stores. Hopefully we're employing 500 plus veterans at that point, and they're all proud to be part of Born United.
100%.
If you had anything to add to that.
No, I just think that, for, I think all of us, the amount of thank yous we get when people come through. And I think that's the thing for me, is the amount of people that are just thankful that they do have a space to come into, and they're able to leave with, a couple t-shirts, or even maybe just the experience of coming through the store and hearing our story and telling their story. And so, that's kind of the big thing for me is again, employing veterans, getting people an opportunity to have a good space to come into and shop with other like-minded individuals. And 100 stores would be spot on for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So it's cool to hear you guys say it, because, a lot of people talk, but when it comes down to doing the walking, there's not a lot of people that do it. So to hear you guys, being able to do that, it's really cool. Really makes me proud to talk about the next question that I have for you guys is, let's talk about the partnership we're working on together, guys. So
Absolutely.
Everything we've been talking about with what you guys are saying, what you believe in, what's at your core, is a lot of the same beliefs and messaging that we have on our side as well, right? And so, being able to carry your product in our stores and on our website is I'm looking forward to it, to letting people see coming to our place and being able to purchase your stuff. Well, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts about that?
Oh man, I am floored.
Yeah.
I continually say this to people, and we just continue to be blessed.
Yeah.
I believe we do things the right way. We do them to the best of our ability, and continuing to rely on God. But I will say 3 years ago, I was reaching out to someone at Palmetto State Armory about getting one of the brands, Relentless Betrayal, into Palmetto State Armory. And I couldn't get through to anybody. And I'm like, why can I not get through to anyone? This is frustrating. And it wasn't because, I know people are busy. And they're just like, here's another brand reaching out to me, right? So it wasn't a knock. It was more timing, right? And it's always God's timing. And so I have tried to get a hold of someone at PSA, the right person is what I should say. The right person to talk about the fact that we're in the plaza with the Palmetto State Armory in Somerville, and we want to grow with you guys. And we'd love to open stores next to you inside. So many ideas. But Brian was from Caliber Coffee was in Lynchburg, and he was connected with Bobby, who another veteran we employ. He's our wholesale. He's a man of many.
He's our Swiss Army knife.
Swiss Army knife kind of guy.
Absolutely.
He connected with Brian. Brian came to the Lynchburg, Virginia grand opening, and just so happened he's a Liberty graduate as well. Him and I hit it off. We started talking about how can we get our product into Palmetto State Armories, which led to a meeting with you. And that meeting was so awesome. And I guess, again, I would circle back to that. I'm so thankful and so floored at the opportunity to be in the Palmetto State Armories. It's a huge move for us, huge move. And then to be able to carry the Palmetto State Armory product in Born United, we are grateful that you guys would give us that opportunity to 100%. to bring you guys on our windows and bring you guys in our shops. But it couldn't be more of a perfect partnership.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that's our focus too. And that's why it was such a perfect timing. When Brian originally reached out to me, he was like, hey, I want you to meet these guys. I was like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, as soon as we sat down and we started talking, I was like, oh yeah, these are my dudes, right? Like, these are my dudes, right? And so, but what we're trying to do, we're based out of South Carolina, but our power of our website is where it's at, right? 90% of our revenue comes from our website, right? Well, that means it's out of the state, right? You guys are out of the state. So it's like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't we want to have our products in your store, right? So it's just like like you said, it's all perfect timing. It's all working out. I'm super excited. I'm excited to see where this is going. Can't wait to be there with you guys at a big grand opening, hanging out with you guys, and then cracking some beers afterwards.
Absolutely.
Man, I can't wait. So where do people go to find out about Born United?
BornUnited.com is our website. And then Instagram's Born United USA. Give us a follow.
Yeah, there we go.
And those are.
And then I think Facebook is just Born United as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the next 5 years and seeing how big you guys grow.
Absolutely.
If there's anybody else you guys want to see on the Coffee Talk, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below and let us know. Thanks again.